What is going on, y'all? Cierra G. Wiles checking in, your trend-setting coach, helping you make better career decisions. I am excited about this conversation that we're getting ready to have today. Listen, I'm just giving y'all a few minutes to come in while I also share. You know, I do my homework part. I have to share it. Make sure everybody is on this live. Everybody can see us, do all of that really great stuff. What's going on, Red Man? I see you in here. If you haven't already, please make sure you guys share this broadcast. Help us to share the wealth of knowledge. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Man. All right. Y'all know with the streaming app, unfortunately, I can't see who's coming in here. But if you are in the building, please drop us something in the chat. Actually, just give me some fire emojis just to let me know you're here, to say hello. I am excited about this conversation that we're getting ready to have today. What's going on, Joseph Wallace? How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. So, before we even get into all of what we're going to be talking about today, first and foremost, introduce yourself to the people. Tell them where they can follow you. Make sure you're going to do that now, y'all. Follow all of that good stuff.
All of that good stuff.
All of that good stuff.
So, first I'd like to start off by thanking you, Cierra, for having me on your show.
Definitely.
I'm Joseph Wallace. Everyone calls me Joe Wallace for short. I'm the owner of YMA Wealth Management Group in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I am born and raised Miami, Florida, but I have a home here, and this is where my office is at, Spartanburg, South Carolina. So I love it out here. YMA Wealth Management Group, we are a business management firm. We have several subsidiary companies under our parent company. I'll start off with the business that I manage all day. That's YMA Financial, and YMA Financial, we are a firm that assists entrepreneurs with turning their dreams to reality. So we do business startups. We assist companies that already exist with expansion and scaling. We do everything, anything that encompass around starting a business or growing a business, our company does. Business plans, management, marketing, bookkeeping, taxes, anything that you could think of around operating a successful business, our company does.
I love that. Because sometimes people don't, necessarily know some of the steps that they need to take in order for them to walk into entrepreneurship or just being a business owner, from formulating your LLC, and especially now business owners, as they are growing, like having to learn how to scale and what that looks like. So I think that is amazing.
Absolutely. So that's one company, and I operate that company all day. I have a full staff. Also, I have Masters Credit Consultants. I started that company in 2014. It's a company that specializes in credit repair, credit building. It's not like any of these other companies out here that just say that they do credit and they'll have your credit fixed in 60 days or 45 days. My company is licensed and bonded through the state of South Carolina. We actually have the largest credit repair firm in the Carolinas. So between North Carolina and South Carolina, we are the largest operating legitimate credit repair firm.
Man.
So I like to outline that, because everyone does credit, right? My cousin does credit, right? Work full time, come home, he's under a program, and he try to sign people up. That's fine and dandy. We are an actual company though, so I built my business model around a company such as like Lexington Law.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then one of the largest credit repair firms in this country.
Okay. Oh, I love that. That is awesome. That is amazing. Because you do. When I tell you everybody has a credit repair, recovery, need your credit fixed, contact us, we'll fix it in, 30 days, like you said, 45 days. And you're just like, now what happened here?
Right.
So that's amazing to know.
It's interesting to understand that though, because it's a difference between getting your credit repaired than getting a credit sweep.
Right.
So
okay.
If you're on right now and you're not familiar with the credit sweep, is when someone promised you they'll have your credit clean in like 30, 60 days, which is possible. The interesting part about that though, it's a quick fix. They come,
right.
they clean your credit, and 4 months down the road, you start seeing things pop back up. So you go from 550 to 700, 750. It's a short-term fix. But then when those things start to reappear, then your scores just start to tank right back down. So we try to educate our clients on understanding like all the factors of credit as they're going through the program. And for a long-term fix, you just don't want to get that house now. You got a great score, but in a couple of months, your scores are right back down. You haven't took the proper steps to try to put yourself in a position where a year from now, you're able to refinance the house and get a better rate. And just overall, everything in credit, everything in this world circulates around credit.
Right. And, honestly, that's going to lead me to my first question to you, Joe, is because a lot of times people they think that is a quick fix. So it's like basically walking away from a process that actually sets you up, better in the long run versus doing something that's so temporary. So can you talk a little bit as far as even just that process? Because I know you were talking about as far as the difference between a sweep and what was the other one? Just standard credit repair. Okay. Correct. Can you talk about that? Talk about that process.
Ooh, so they would be like, how you know so much? So
look, give it to us, Joe. Give it to us.
Okay, so there's ways to do a credit sweep, and I'm not going to go into all the details of how they do it, but there's ways where you're able to, on someone's credit file, you come through and any collections, accounts with late payments, repos, bankruptcies, you just come through and have all of those items pretty much deleted.
Okay.
Off your credit.
Okay.
So and I've seen that back because right now I'm hands off. That company operates itself. I have a CEO. Nice. I got a staff, so I'm pretty much hands off. That's probably 7% of my day, of my load of work. But I started off. I built the company from ground up. I used to be the one on the phone at 12 o'clock at night helping someone on their credit. So I've seen people that come through with a sweep and they got nothing on their credit, but they have like maybe a trade line. What a trade line is when you like buy someone's credit, which is fine. Or if you have a family member who have excellent credit, and then they can add you as an authorized user on their account, which helps your credit, because if that account has been open for 5-6 years, now that 6 years of age on their credit translates over to your credit profile.
Oh, I like. Okay. So let me ask this question, because before we even skip ahead to that whole walk of credit recovery and all of that, can you explain your journey as an entrepreneur first? So let's give the people some context behind Joe Wallace, you walking through, because you are, even everything that you have explained, you are a walking businessman, entrepreneur, investor. Like, you have the experience to back it up. So I want people to first get the context, know that what Joe is talking about, he's a credible business owner. Like, he has it. He's walking in it. He is walking in it like many of us are trying to walk in. So let's start there first, Joe.
So I was 5 years old. Okay, I'm being facetious. She like, okay, you was ready for the story.
I just knew you were about to say I started a lemonade stand.
That's interesting. But since we have time, because we have an hour, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share a conversation I had with my sister last week. And she said, I knew that you was going to be a business person or entrepreneur, because when I was young, in the neighborhood that we grew up in, there was like a yard that was back. It was like ground, normal grass and dirt. And I dug up holes in the ground, and I used to catch like lizards, butterflies. I tried to catch the iguana, but I couldn't get the iguana. But I created a zoo in someone's yard.
What?
There was like a trash pile with like a front door, like a screen door. So I took the screen, I tore off the screen, and I had it cut up, and I used that to cover up the hole so the bugs couldn't escape.
Right.
And I was charging the kids to come see my zoo. I was charging them, like I would charge them now and later. You got to give me 2 now and later if you want to walk through my zoo.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
I am dead serious. And my sister brought that up. Like, it's crazy when you look back through a child and their actions. You have to understand, you know what? My child enjoys sports. My child enjoys football, ballet, whatever it is. Embrace that, right? If I had someone at the age of 16, 17, 18 years old to tell me about credit, to add me as an authorized user on a credit card, like right now, I'll probably be side by side with like Jay-Z or Puffy.
Oh man, listen.
I'm doing extremely well now, but I will probably be like Forbes right now if I had the knowledge that I had back then, starting at 18 years old, because there was nobody in our culture that knew about it, right? That was trying to talk about credit, tell people how to leverage their credit and start a business, real estate, like all of these factors. I would have mastered this game and capitalized on it at a young age. But so going back, that was the story I wanted to share. But just to go back into your question, to make sure I answer your question, is I was in San Diego and I was operating a business. I was doing well too. And I was going to move back to Miami. And I had came to see my mom, well, she had moved from Miami up into South Carolina to Greenville.
Okay.
And when I came to visit her, I was like, man, this city like 20 years behind from Miami or San Diego, like a larger city. And so I seen opportunities, thinking like as a business person, I seen opportunity. Like if I come here and start putting my seeds down in the ground now, when they start to blossom, I'll be ahead of what the average person is doing. So that's how I started. Now, for you young entrepreneurs out there who's online right now, I'll tell you the difference between the Joe back in 2008, 2009 to the Joe of 2021 is I had drive. I would work 18, 19-hour days back then. I mean, I would hustle. I would get my business. I would make money, and that's all I did was drive. I understood how to communicate and how to sell what my products were at the time. So I was doing well, but what I lacked is a core understanding of operating a business.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a conversation with someone today, and I was explaining to them anyone could create an idea and create a website and a business card and say they are a CEO or president, right? And in our culture, that's okay because we see, wow, you a president of your own company? Yeah,
right.
But realistically, a CEO of a company is someone who have that skill set to be a CEO. And if you go on Indeed or go on what's the other Monster, whatever site, and type in CEO of a company, look at the credentials that a company looks for when they hire a CEO. So before you take that title, make sure you start to gain those skill sets. You are a business owner, and that's fine if you own your own business.
You better preach up here, Joe.
But I want to educate. I want to educate everyone that sees this. Oh, look in the comment. I have
Like they killed. Like, listen, you get the fires and everything. Needed this information. My dad is like, yes, come on,
Reggie,
yes.
how you doing, my brother? I see the light. So, but just make sure when you're getting into business, start to master each facet of that business. I don't care if you're selling candles, if you're selling eyebrows, if you're selling clothes, wholesale, like start to understand inventory control.
Right.
Like get the software, start like get QuickBooks. They got QuickBooks starters. Get QuickBooks and start to understand how to do a balance sheet. Start to understand what a profit and loss statement is. So I think that's one thing. If I go back through my life when I was younger operating a business, all I knew is I made more money than I spent.
Yes.
But if someone would say, Joe, what's your net margins? Right? What's your growth?
Yeah.
I can tell you my growth. I couldn't tell you what all of my month-to-month expenses were.
Your expenses. Yes. Yes.
So,
And I think that is so good because I believe, and I was just literally having this conversation earlier with my sis, and we were talking about how it's so easy for people to say, oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to, whether it's, you're going to start coaching, even for me, like I've been doing this now for a few years, but when you walk into it and it's that development piece, like you were talking about prior to you actually even getting into that business, those skill sets that you really need, like what does this stuff really look like? I think it's so easy within our community for people, like you said, to get a business card and just jump out there and like, oh, I'm just jumping out there on faith. I'm ready to go. But it's like, you have no knowledge of business. Like there's no, and I can talk to people even often, and it's like, well, how do I get started? I have this and I have this, and sometimes I just may ask just a simple, do you have a marketing strategy? And sometimes it's like, I need that. I was just going to use social media. Oh, really? And so it's like, it's just all of that. So like everything that you're giving right now is complete meat. It is meat to its core. So thank you, Joe, for that.
Oh, you're welcome. So that brings me up to current day. So that was just some advice and some things that I've learned from experience. One other thing that I learned from experience is like now everyone has a program where you can get a mentor, or just make sure that you're getting with the right person, not someone that's just created that copied a program and stamped their name on it. So if someone is going to be your mentor, make sure they have some type of expertise in that industry. And I talk from experience. So when I tell people things, I'm trying to advise from things that I see on a day-to-day. And so when someone comes to me and say, I'm trying to open up a location somewhere, and I'm working with my mentor, and they're telling me X, Y, and Z. Okay, good. You got a mentor, great. Right. Do you have a business plan?
Right.
No, I haven't. Like, so you got a mentor that haven't advised you of the importance of a business plan. And your business plan is your roadmap. That's like me trying to tell you to drive from here to San Diego, and I'll take away your phone and you don't have no GPS.
Right.
So now you're trying to figure it out.
Right. So and that is, now you're touching on something now, because I look at mentors as people who can really invest in you, and who can see your vision and help take you to the next level. Like I am such an advocate for people having mentors and being embedded to those relationships and really feeding into those relationships, because a lot of times, as you said, like as entrepreneurs, you can get into business and not know where you're going. I feel like that's where a lot of entrepreneurs are right now, Joe. Like, do you agree? Like, I feel like a lot of people are just trying to figure it out as they go. And I have these conversations with people, especially millennials, like, it's like, oh, well, what system should we use? And what should, you know what I'm saying? It's like all of these, what should I do? And everybody's just trying to figure it out. And it's like, well, I think this is where, you're talking about as far as just having mentors to be able to help coach you along.
Absolutely. I do agree. And I learned from failure.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that I try to educate people on is if I could prevent a mistake, I'll pay for that.
That's
I
good.
will, yeah, I will pay to prevent a mistake. And I'll
Yeah,
tell you why. In
that's good.
2000, 2004, before we could go on Google or just pull up your phone and just type in,
Mm-hmm.
get any type of information, I was starting a magazine
Mm-hmm.
and got with a company. You know, I called and they told me, okay, yeah, you want X amount of copies. I think I spent like $13,000 on my first run.
Right.
I believe, and this was back in 2004, so I believe it was like 5,000 copies. I spent 13,000. They sent me a proof, and a
Mm-hmm.
proof, you know, a proof is like a
Yeah.
sample of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had the grids around, you know, like the
Mm-hmm.
borders, and I
Yep.
didn't understand what the red grid was versus the blue grid,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just approved it, but I had went out, you know, I had a little pamphlet and
Yeah.
I was selling ads because you know I knew a lot of people in the
Right.
area. So I was getting car lots to build
Yeah.
like to advertise. So I went ahead with the print. I took their money and that covered like a fraction of it, and I invested into it. So like $10,000 of my own money on a $13,000 project. And when they shipped it, I was excited. You know, it came in a big
Ready.
truck.
Right.
And they put the pallets out. They put the pallet out with the 5,000 copies stacked up. And I looked down at it. It was shrink wrapped. And I looked down at it, and the edges was cut off wrong. So
Oh, man.
it's called a bleed area. So anyone in
Yeah.
the industry, it's called a bleed area. So the bleed area was wrong, and I looked at the cover. I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. And I turned it over, and the first ad, right? They, you know, you sell
Cut
the
off.
front
Yeah.
cover, the inside cover. It was cut off around the edges. And I was
Oh,
like, oh
man.
my god, I cannot put this out. I cannot
Right.
put it out. So that became a $10,000 loss to me.
Right.
If I would have had the education or the knowledge, or I would have got with someone in the industry, because after I
Yep.
made that mistake, like a year later, I met someone up north,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling me like, "Oh man, like yeah, I could have took." I told him about the same mistake I made, and
Yeah.
just asking him for like, "Hey, so what are some of the things that you learned throughout your journey?" And just him sharing his information. That's $10,000. That $10,000 could have been a make or break point. If you know, if I couldn't have went back and put in
Right.
2,000 more, then that could have just caused my business to flop right then
Right.
before I
Right.
even started.
Right. And I
So
think honestly, I'm sorry, Joe, to cut
no,
you
go
off.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think that's one of the main points that you just made. Like, you were willing to go and seek help. I think now it's so important for people to be humble to ask for help. I feel like we're living in time, like in our community, it's so hard, and people think that they know everything. Like, because
Google
they think they know
and
everything.
YouTube.
It's like they're making costly mistakes, and it's like, but you don't know everything, you know. And I think that you know, you were willing to go and seek help and get someone to help guide you, you know.
Google and YouTube, you know, I mean, and I would agree
Yeah.
that the majority of the information is out there,
Yeah.
but you would never truly understand all of the underlying factors. Like I could right now sign up for a credit program and they could send me all of the dispute letters. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. What am I pay for credit repair for when I could just send out round one, round two, round
Right.
three, and just hope for the best, right? Because that's what this program tells me.
Right.
What they don't tell you is that if you send a letter and if the creditor is sending you back a response, you have to know how to respond. You just can't send. Well, you can send just that next generic letter to them.
Right.
But if you send this to the credit bureau is going to deem that account as frivolous. That you're
Right.
just disputing. But this company that we went and validated did send you back a response,
Right.
right? But the program doesn't tell you that. The program just says,
Mm.
dispute one, dispute two, dispute three.
Right.
once you get that account flagged by the credit bureau, then they'll tell you do a dispute. And I'm sure some people online have tried this, where they got a response back say, we will no longer investigate this account.
I love that.
They flagged the account. So now you want to go and try to get help. So now you're trying to get help after the fact.
Right.
So and now it makes it even more harder for that company to assist you, because now you got the account flagged.
And a lot of people definitely don't know that. I know this was probably years back. I started finding out about these, like you said, it's the sweeps and send out these letters and send out this letter. And, and honestly, I personally got overwhelmed, because I was like, I ain't about to do all that. I think that's the reason why you think like, this is the reason why I'm getting ready to pay somebody to do this, right?
Right.
to where you have that guidance. But I think, it's a quick fix. Like you said, it's a quick fix. So yeah, I'll let you keep going on your journey.
So those are my failures. Where I am now, I talked about YMA Financial, I talked about Master's Credit. Under YMA Wealth Management Group, we also have the Pyramid Group, and that company is brokered with Keller Williams.
Nice.
And that team, they assist people with becoming homeowners or selling their homes. Awesome. So that's huge. Also, my company, the Master's Credit Consultants, we're also partnered in Spartanburg. Thank you to Siege, if he's on right now. He'll probably see this later if he's not on. But thank you to Siege. He has a program that he works with the city of Spartanburg.
Okay, yes.
And with people that's on like Section 8, people that's on like HUD.
Yes.
And we assist these people with becoming homeowners. So
that is awesome.
Yes. And there's a 3-step program. They meet with like a licensed agent that walks them through like all the steps of becoming a homeowner. And then after that, then they come to our team to make sure that their credit is where it needs to be. So they're just not out applying for a pre-approval and being declined. So now you're adding inquiries on your credit, but not gaining anything from it.
Right.
Then there's also a course through Javertis Burnett. He's in Spartanburg. JB.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also partnered with the program, and he does the financial segment on educating people on the importance of insurance, doing budgeting to make sure that you understand, can you afford this house?
Right.
And if I make X amount of dollars, how much am I going to spend on my new mortgage? Because like some of these people spend $100 a month if you're on like Section 8 or whatever program, right? Because the state helps and assists on the cost.
Right.
So taking someone from spending $100 per month to spending $900 a month, that's a huge gap in variance. So you have to look at her face.
My mind. You see, I had to lean back on that. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, this is like, you guys know how powerful this is. This is some powerful stuff.
Yes.
This is you guys are taking people, transforming lives through financial freedom.
Yes.
That right there says it all.
More importantly, is that you're taking someone that's, low income,
right,
and showing them how to gain an asset.
Yeah.
And that asset could lead to wealth building.
Yes.
So people talk about, wealth building, generational wealth, right?
Yes.
But it's easy to throw around that term, but you have to understand, like, what are the true factors of creating wealth, or over one generation to the next generation, passed on to the next generation. You making $40,000 a year is not going to create generational wealth. You
talk about it, Joe.
Making $100,000 a year is not going to create generational wealth. So when I love to use examples because it's real life.
Yes.
I had a client came into the office for a meeting, and she is a esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
I said it right?
Yes, that's it.
She's an esthetician, And she sells the eyebrows, she do
Uh-huh.
the makeup, everything, skincare. She got a
Yeah.
product. And so we talked about a business plan.
Right.
So she didn't have one. So I like, let's create some numbers real quick. So tell me, how much do you sell your product for? How many of your products do you sell per day? And we just
Right.
broke down all of those factors. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, like you're actually doing good. Like if you
Right.
like the amount you charge for doing makeup, how many products you sell.
Yeah.
You just have to look at how can we scale this business.
Exactly.
But that $60,000 or $80,000 a year, and she was like, I'm about to take my business. I'm about to create generational wealth.
Yeah.
So that has become a popular term in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I broke it down, and I break it down, so I broke it down. I say, so you got 2 children, right?
Right.
All right. So say if your business right now, say you're bringing in $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year. I use 100,000 as the example, but say you're bringing in 100K a year, and then you look at all of your cost, right? All of your costs. What she wasn't including was the time of her labor, right?
Yes.
Time versus cost. So you have to look at, you're doing this work on someone's face. That time that you had to travel to them, right? So, I only spent X amount of time doing it yet, but you had to drive 45 minutes. That's your time.
That's it.
You're driving back 45 minutes. That's your paid time. So all that has to be calculated. But going back into my point was generational wealth and having an asset. I teach people on, you purchase a home, that could be your starter home.
Yeah.
You get into that starter home now, you're 22 years old and you're in that house for say 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And now you could possibly be married, whatever the case is, you're in a better financial place. Because in your job 5 years, you probably left and got a higher paying job, or you got a wage increase, but you probably going to be being paid more. You put that house up for rent.
Yes.
And you go and buy your second home. Now you have 2 properties.
That's it.
And you can repeat this cycle and until like, oh, well, I want to stay in this house. This is going to be my house that I stay in, but I got this house over here that's paying a majority of my mortgage.
Here.
So now I built equity in this home that I'm not even paying for.
Right.
Free money, because out in Spartanburg, the appreciation of homes is going up. It's ridiculous right now.
Oh man, y'all in a hot spot, okay?
Yes.
Like tremendously.
Tremendous. Like there's a shortage in homes right now.
I can believe that. I can honestly believe that. Like the market is so hot. My in-laws, they actually sold their home in like, I don't think it was on the market like 2 days, Joe.
I believe you.
I was just like, what in the world? Yeah, it's that serious.
Yes. And being in this field, I know houses are, if you price the house right, you could price the house right. If the comps in that area is like 200 and 200,000, you could possibly price your house for 215, and they'll create a bidding war like 240, 250. They're going over. They're going over the asking price right now.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
So a lot of homeowners could really be at a huge advantage right now.
Yeah, you definitely want to check and see even if you have to pay someone to come in and tell you the value of your house.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to know the current value of my house, especially if you've been in that house for over 3 years. What is the current value of my house? It's a good chance that you're probably sitting on equity. I love that word, equity. And you could take that equity, pull it out, put that down on another home, put that home up for rent, and let someone rent and start paying on that home, and also be paying a percentage of the current home that you're in.
You know what? That was going to be my next question. I was actually going to ask you that same question. So people who are looking to go into real estate investment, because a lot of times, and I thank you, Joe, because you are giving this information just freely, like, because you want people to win, but people are making, individuals pay for such information that you're giving right now. So I do appreciate it. But I was getting ready to say, as far as people who are trying to get into real estate investing, talk about that process as far as, like you said, pulling out equity and using it as the down payment for the next one, because there's even, I think, misinformation as far as you can't pull out 2 mortgages at one time and stuff like that. So can you clear the air in that, but give some practical steps?
Okay, so I will talk about subject A and subject B.
Okay.
Subject A owns a home right now, and they are going to see how much equity do I currently have in my property right now.
Right.
So say they purchased the house for 200,000, and the comps in the area is going for like 240, and they come out, asset the home, and say, well, your home right now is valued at around 230. That means you have $30,000 of equity. You're probably going to have more if you've been in that home for 3 years.
Right.
When you first buy a home, a large percentage goes toward the principal.
Right.
And no, I'm sorry, I said it backwards. A large percentage goes to the interest, and a very small percentage goes toward the principal.
Right.
As the years go on, though, then that number starts to balance out. So if you've been in the house for 3 years, you're probably on a $200,000 home. You're paying around maybe $1,200-$1,300, depending on your PMI. Maybe so 300 times 36. So you're probably close to 10 grand. So that 10,000 plus the value of the property has gone up 30,000.
Right.
So you put the house on the market, you owe the bank $190,000.
Right.
So even if you don't want to sell your house, you're just gonna do a cash refi. I'm just gonna pull out the equity. That means that you now, even when you pull out the equity in a house, like, you're gonna have to make payments on that.
Right. Okay.
Right? I'll pull this out, but I'm gonna capitalize and put this into an investment. So even if I say if I was someone and I made 80,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they say, well, I couldn't afford 2 mortgages. So, but I'm going to put enough cash down on this second property where now my payment is a lot lower, where now it becomes affordable for me.
Right.
So that's subject A, current homeowner.
Okay.
And there's more ways to maneuver through the system too.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's not the only way.
Okay.
But going to subject B. Subject B is, I'm just an average person. I'm in an apartment right now, and I do want to buy a home, but I also want to get into investing or starting to flip properties.
Yes.
Okay. If I have good credit, normally a 580, you can qualify. Not going to get the best rate.
Right. Right.
Not going to get the best rate. You're going to get a very high interest rate. So you ideally want to go and purchase a home with a 700 score or higher.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a 700 credit score. I've been in my job for 2 years. And even if I have not been in my job, as long as I've been in the same job industry for 2 years consistently, I can still qualify for a home. I'm going to need my last 2 years of taxes.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it. I obtain my pre-approval. The mortgage lender, I start to submit all of my documents, my pay stub. I get with an agent. They showing me houses. I find a house I love. Boom. I want to put an offer on this house. Right. So now I'm just going to use this house as an investment.
Right.
Which I would advise someone to get out of that apartment, move into the house, stay in that house for a while, and then if you're into investing, then leverage your credit into that next property. So if you're renting right now, get out of that apartment.
Yeah, because you're wasting money.
Every month that you pay for rent, you'll never see again.
Yeah,
you'll never see again. And most people are afraid. I'm going to touch on both ends. Most people are afraid to become homeowners because there is a downside. If the water stops working, the water heater goes out. If it goes out, then you're responsible for that. But that's why you get insurance.
Right.
Right. So you get insurance to cover like the dishwasher, the water heater, any of those type of major repairs. The insurance, it covers that.
I just want to let you know you got a new client coming to you. She said, "I feel attacked. I'm getting out. Come to see me. Come to see you, Mr.
Joe." I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just trying to tell you. But if you are, I do want you to understand that every month that you do pay for that, it's like you will never see it again. It's almost like getting a car for rent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rent a car. I'm gonna pay more, but I'll never own it.
Yeah.
And I'll never see it again. I got to turn that car back in at some point. That house, every month that I pay on that mortgage, a percentage of that is my money that's sitting.
Yeah.
That's sitting. And at some point, if I decide to sell, I'm gonna make that back. I'm gonna get that back.
Yeah.
So I want to stay on time though, because we're at 6:40.
Yeah, you good.
Okay, so subject B, they're in an apartment. They want to flip homes. Now let's talk about getting out of your apartment and getting you into investing at the same time.
Right.
This is Jules right here.
Come on, I was about to say, I hope y'all got y'all pen and paper.
Everybody that's home again, you got my cash
or making people go to seminars, paying
$1.99 sent to my cash out. $1.99 sent to my
there you go.
I'm being sarcastic, but okay. So here's a gem. You got to have good credit.
Yeah.
Credit opens up the doors to everything. So I'm going to show you how I have clients, and I even use this same strategy even when I started. Yeah. So say if I have good credit, and okay, so I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings real quick.
All right.
They got programs out there that tell you, hey, you know what? Don't use your personal credit. You can just use your business credit and blah, 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 right?
Right.
I like to talk about the reality of things. Can you do it? Yes. Can you build business credit without being a personal guarantor? Absolutely.
Right.
But what type of credit do you have? So it's easy to build a paydex score, which is on through Dun & Bradstreet. And so I'm going to get a gas card. And they give me $1,000 on the gas card, right? Because I went through like the tier 1 process, getting like a vendor account.
Right.
And now I can go and get an account at Staples. I can go and get an account at Office Depot. I can get like an account with BP. I get an account with Sunco. And now I got a business credit score. So I got $100,000 in business credit that I can't use in my industry. So if I'm trying to flip homes, what is a gas card going to do for me?
Right.
If I'm trying to flip homes, what is having a $5,000 account at Staples
right?
Outside of possibly buying me a laptop that I may use for work. So this is how the importance of having excellent personal credit is, because you can skip all those steps of building tier 1 credit, tier 2 credit. You go right and you start building credit right on your business. You can get an American Express business credit card when you got good credit. You can get a Chase business card, Chase Inc. card when you got good credit. Citi, Barclay. I mean, I could keep going on and on.
Right.
$100,000 of credit that you spent months trying to build tier 1, tier 2 credit that you can't use. It looks good to brag and post, say, hey, look, I got all these cards. But what can you truly do that's going to, how can you leverage that into your business to help you create wealth?
Right.
Now, let's talk about good credit. When you have good credit, it's not just taking off the negatives and you're added as an authorized user on an account. You got a 700 score. Because now when I go apply for credit, they're going to look at how much credit have I established.
Mm,
right? And I'm talking.
that's good.
Right, I'm explaining this from what the computers, the algorithm that the computer uses when you apply online. So when someone say, "Man, I bought a $15,000 trade line and Capital
Right.
One gave me a $500 credit card," I don't understand it. That ain't what they told me, right?
Right.
Because the computers and the banks, they're starting to understand now what an authorized user account is versus a primary account, and it weighs more on your primary account. I just told you, so I'm not allowing you to ask any questions.
No, you're perfect. Perfect.
So I advise anyone when they start with me, we're going to start building your credit. If you got collections on your account, we're going to work simultaneously while you're establishing your own credit. We're going to work on removing the negatives from your credit report. So when you do apply for credit in the future, now they see that you have established your own credit. So now if you do have that trade line or authorized user account on your credit, there's a balance.
Yes. Okay.
Now let's go back into investing into the property. Right. I'm in an apartment and I got good credit now because I contacted Masters Credit Consulting.
There you go.
And they
Miss Wallace done dropped it all in the chat for us. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Look, it's all in the, okay. So right, I went and I contacted them, and now I have excellent credit. Now I'm ready to move forward into my business venture.
Right.
I'm going to purchase me a house. I need to get out of this apartment, and I need to obtain myself an asset. At the same time, I'm going to establish my credit worthiness. So what I mean by that, as soon as I close on that house and they give me the keys to that house, I'm going to obtain business credit that next day. Because one, mortgage lender don't like to see new accounts open on your credit when you close on a property.
Right.
So we do everything strategically. So I am going, she put in YMA Wealth Management Group. If any of you guys out there, I'm gonna plug this real quick. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yes.
We have a new program. If you drive trucks for someone right now, and you always thought like, man, I would love to be my own owner operator, or own my own trucking company, go on YMAWealthMGT.com. We have a program where we do everything for you.
Wow.
Everything from beginning to end, from helping you with your credit, knowing what the banks are going to look for when you're trying to purchase that truck. We handle all of the paperwork for you. We get in your let me step back. Getting your authority, everything. Your DLC, like everything that you're going to need to start that trucking company, we do for you. We got the resources for getting your insurance, everything, where to buy the truck from with the best rates.
This is crazy.
So really, it's almost like hands off. Only thing that you have to do is sign when it's time to go and purchase your truck, or when you have to sign a state form.
Right. This is amazing. Like,
so I know I'm all about careers. Out there real quick.
No, well, I'm all about careers, Joe. So that plug was perfect because I am an advocate for trades and people getting out there, knowing that there's a shortage right now, especially for truck drivers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it is, listen, you can make some money. I've been thinking about driving trucks myself, Joe.
Yes. If you guys are not following my page, go on Joseph Wallace on Facebook, or you could go on Joe Wallace on Facebook. But if you go on my timeline, you see I have a actually he's a good friend of mine too, and he got excellent credit,
right?
And he just purchased a new car hauler. Nice. It's the green one. So if you go on my timeline, it's the green car hauler, and it was like the amount of cash that was down, but he made so much doing it. But it all started before you can even get into that first step. That step one is credit. Yes. Right? You get that first truck. But now the truck that he drives, he's doubling his income. And I'll tell you, if you guys are into driving trucks right now, if you drive trucks and you're like, man, I'm good. I make $1,500 a week, $1,300 a week.
Yeah,
that's comfortable. I mean, for a lot of people. But then you have to look at the pros and the cons. Like that $1,500 a week, you're on the road, maybe 4 days out of the week. How long are you driving? Impact it has on your body.
Right.
Like, all that. The stress level, dealing with you in rush hour traffic all day. So you have to think about all of those factors. Now imagine you get your truck, and then 6 months down the road, you get a second truck. In that second truck, you hire a driver and allow that driver to start making money for you. So when you think, man, I made $1,300 a week, do you know how much that company makes a week? That company is averaging around like $5,500 to $6,000 a week and only paying you $1,500 of that. So now you have the opportunity to become the owner of your business and make that $6,000 yourself.
Right.
You couldn't even fathom making $20,000 a month. You know, that's over 200 grand a year. That's life changing.
Listen, so me and my stepdad, we literally have been having this conversation about truck driving and starting the business and stuff like that. I'm kind of putting him out there because he's getting ready to finish up, and he's literally just doing it for fun. So I hope you are listening to this, Reggie, because we have been telling him, like, you know, this may be something really to like consider doing, because, you know, of course he loves what he does, but still at the same time it's like, but you could really be doing, you know, or even allowing it to just operate itself,
right?
You know, so I love this. I'm gonna ask you this question, Joe. Someone who's looking to get into that, do you have to have a CDL?
No, you don't. Now it's easier if you do have a CDL. So again, being transparent, yes, it is easier if you have a CDL to get the approvals, because it opens up the door to more lenders that will approve you. But when you don't have a CDL, and I'll tell you exactly why, because they see you more of a risk. If anything happens, if that truck breaks down, the driver bails on you, you can't go get the truck. Right. You don't have a CDL to even drive it. So, and then most drivers have like 2 years of experience under their CDL. So that's something that they ask you to. Do you have those 2 years? So
Reggie said, listening is manifesting. Yes, it is.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I help at least 2 to 3 clients a month get into trucking.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yes. One of the main concerns that they have is that, man, I just know there's a lot of lazy people out there. They're not going to take care of my truck. Like all of these. And I hate to call it an excuse. Yeah. But it all goes back to hiring.
Oh, it does. Leadership. This is the business development side.
Yes. So, and if you don't have that skill set, then you hire someone who does have that skill set, even if it's for a project based. Like, I'm going to hire someone just for a week to do interviews for me and to do background checks for me and to make sure that I'm getting the most qualified person to put into this truck that I own under my name and I'm responsible for. I'm paying insurance on. You know, so like take away any business, there's always a risk. But I love this. If you manage your business appropriately, you manage the finances appropriately, like it becomes more of a reward.
Right. This is so good. This information.
Listen,
you haven't even finished the
one more. I know that's what I was going to ask you. Real estate, real quick. I'm going to finish this. Credit. You have your credit. You buy your home. Now you go and get access to a line of credit, business credit cards, personal credit cards. I tell everybody, build both. Don't just focus on getting a 40,000, 60,000 in business credit. Your personal credit needs to be equally as strong. And you know, the SBA say that 70% of businesses fail within that first year. Yeah. But if you look at the key factors, management.
Yep.
Right. You have to know how to manage people and manage your business.
Right.
2, lack of access to capital. But if you got good credit, you can always maneuver and get access to capital.
Right. That's just good.
Right. So now I got good credit. I'm going to get the funds that I need. Now I can obtain my second property because I'm cash heavy.
Right.
Like it's hard for a bank to tell you no when you cash heavy. And if you know how to turn your credit into cash, like you can maneuver so many ways and still achieve the goals that these people telling you, oh, you need to be doing this to do, you need to be doing this to do. Just get good credit.
Right.
If you have excellent, if you're on right now and you have excellent credit, if you have a business idea, I could turn that into life.
This is what I'm talking about right here. Come on. This is it.
That's
we were just talking about this today as far as people having ideas and believing that it's just gonna pop up and I'm just gonna do the, but there's strategy to it, and you are helping to provide the strategy they need in order for them to get to the next level. This is awesome.
I have I'm gonna do a shout out real quick.
Yes.
Because I help a lot of people, so I'm just gonna, I don't want to just go down a list, but the people that's like right now who have went through and came through and they're just doing it, like they're about to. I got a client right now this weekend is launching, him and his wife Stefan and Cierra Bodison. They're here in Spartanburg, but they got a food truck. So
nice, right?
Make sure, guys, you go on and support them.
Okay.
And I really appreciate people that come into the program and they understand that in any business there's going to be adversity. It's not going to be like this.
Yes.
So, but no matter what, when you have the right the right person that have the expertise in the area of building companies out, like we're always going to find a way. So for the one that came through and it was easy, you know, cheers to you. The ones that came through, they started on their credit, then boom, here come like these new doctor bills. I try to, stay focused.
Right.
We'll work through this. But a lot of people just quit. Like, oh, man, my score, I was doing so well. I went from a 550 to a 680. Now I'm back down into the 5. It's okay. Business is going to be a roller coaster, as long as there's more ups and downs. So Stefan and Cierra Bodison, y'all make sure they have a barbecue food truck. And I'm not talking about like brand new food truck. Like everything is like brand new and it's beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. So they're going to be at a fair on Sunday. There's like 6,000 to 8,000 people expected. So they're starting off their business like about to just boom. And, also I have a one of my large brothers, and I see I have a traveling man online. One of my large brothers down in Georgia, he's launching a cigar bar and a food truck. So he already have a cigar brand. His name is his brand is called Champ Meals. So if you guys are into cigars, I don't smoke personally, but I know a lot of people that do. So if you do smoke and you're into cigars, Champ Meals, the brand. I heard wonderful things about him. So, but he's getting ready to open up a cigar bar.
Nice.
So I just want to call out the people who like over the next few days about to be doing something with their business.
No, I love that. And honestly, Joe, I have seen posts being shared of the great things that you have been doing for our community. So when I reached out to you, I was like, I definitely have to have him on the chat. Just because you have been like so instrumental in what you have just been doing in the communities just here in the upstate area, and a lot of people's lives have been truly transformed by that. So like first and foremost, we give you your flowers like here and now. Like you know, we don't have to wait. Seriously, like you're doing an amazing job, and we're very grateful and thankful for you to come and share your gift with the rest of the world. So thank you, Joe.
Thank you. And I was smiling because I seen in the chat the lemon pepper freestyle.
Yes, we needed to talk about that.
Oh man,
we need to talk about that before we got time. Go ahead.
Okay, so
let's talk about it
before we end. God gave me a gift of many talents. So outside of my brand YMA, also let me tell you guys, YMA, that's my brand for everything. So YMA stands for Young Millionaires Association. And that's what my goal is. When someone comes and they have an idea, I don't want to just help them to create a business. I want to create a business plan to show them how to take that business from making $80,000 a year to $200,000 a year from $200,000 a year to $500,000 a year.
Let's go.
And so when we create a business plan for you, our goal is to help you to become a millionaire. It's not just to start a business.
Right. I love this. But yes.
YMA. Now, so I also have a gift with music.
Okay.
And so if you guys go on YouTube and type in Lemon Pepper Freestyle Joe Wallace.
Okay.
Lemon Pepper Freestyle Joe Wallace. And you guys are going to be amazed. Don't get too absorbed with Drake part because his route, of course, is Drake, and he got like 5 minutes. And but after Drake goes, so first is Rick Ross, then is Drake, and then is Joe Wallace at the end. But my part is fire.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
And we just dropped that song, Let's Go, a month and a half ago. So that's out. Yeah, we got a song called Let's Go out Joe Wallace featuring Al Harris. So that's going to be on the mixtape that drops on Friday. So guys, make sure you go on www.YMANation and subscribe. If you go to the RSVP link, you can put in your name and email, and you will stay plugged with all the great information on everything that we're doing.
Oh, I love it. Man, you're like the ultimate businessman on here.
The ultimate business. Hey,
I love it. This is like literally our community has a Jay-Z.
You know what? My goal, and this, I'm sorry, let me retract that. Not my goal. My retirement date is December the 31st of 2023. So I got 2 years and 6 months before I retire.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So I plan on the music creating an additional resource of income. So I focus, every business needs to be a multi-million-dollar business. So when I retire, all I need is 10% draw every month from every business. So if I can make $300,000, $400,000 a month from each business, which I'm projected to do right now, like I'll be comfortable. Now that's generational wealth, right?
No, I need everybody to understand what Joe he said. $200,000 to $300,000. $200,000 to $300,000 a month.
Retired. And I'm not saying it like from a bragging perspective. I'm just saying since 2017, when I started my full-time journey as an entrepreneur, after that first year, because I go off a business plan, I make adjustments to our financial projections. So this is me saying, hey guys, you know what? Based on my projections, this is in 2018. I was saying I'm retiring December the 31st, 2023. And every year I've been saying the same thing because I'm still on course. And I continue to add things. So if the music, you know, every time it gets played, every time someone downloads the stream, you never know, a year from now, someone may decide to use it in a movie or whatever the case. Like that's residual income over forever. So I want to create a catalog. And when I retire, I'm not just going to stop. I'll spend more time traveling with my family. My granddaughter, she's 9 months now. So, you know, when I plan on taking her on a round the world cruise. I'll be going on a round the world cruise in February of 2024. I want to take my grandchild with me.
Oh man, this is great, man. Listen, I already know all of this stuff is already happening for you because you're already, like you said earlier, you've already sown the seeds, and so it is only right for the harvest to come. It's only right. So I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to prosper and kill it. Just like seriously, I really am. Like one thing you know about me, my platform, anything, I want everybody around me to win. I want everybody around me to be successful. And literally, when we meet in person, you'll see it even more. Not even just through the camera, but that's what my heart posture is. Like I really want to see people win. I really do. So I'm on your journey, man. I'm following you. I'm liking, I'm sharing whatever I can do in my capacity to support you to continue to move ahead. You got me there, Joe.
And if you're in the upstate, we have our 7th annual Christmas toy giveaway coming up this year. So every year, my nonprofit YMA Cares, we give away thousands of toys out to the kids in Greenville County. I think it's the 11th this year, December the 11th. I can verify that really quickly. It is December the 11th in Greenville and December the 12th in Spartanburg. So we cover 2 counties and we give away thousands of toys. Last year we couldn't do the rides and the free food and everything, but now things are starting to ease down with the COVID. We'll be back with how it's like a small carnival. You come out and get free toys, and the kids can go out and have a ball. Free rides, free pizza, Domino's pizza, free drinks. Like it's a really great time.
I love that. All right. So y'all heard it, December 11th and December 12th, right?
Yes.
All right. So make sure everybody go on so that you guys can make sure that you're updated on these events as well as what Joe is going to continue doing in the communities. And if you are looking to purchase a home, get your credit right, start businesses, do all of that good stuff, you already know where you should go. Man, this series has been amazing. Yes, I was about to say, I think YMA. Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you were saying.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So make sure y'all please contact Joe. And that's one thing that we need within our communities. We need successful businesses. Like right now, Atlanta has just relaunched. I think it's like a Tulsa initiative, and they're building like this big community for Black businesses and minority businesses and stuff like that. And so just to be able to have us to be able to walk into some of that same stuff, like I love what you're doing, Joe. I really do.
Thank you.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
God's plan.
Come on, man. Listen, I don't even want to go there, but I have to go there because the thing is, people don't realize that you are a blessed man sitting here, and you can sit and tell everybody from top to bottom, what they need to do. But at the end of it, you give God credit. And you tell everybody that this is all in what God had for you. Can you talk about, just for a second, just give people encouragement, Joe? Because people are on this journey. Sometimes it's hard for people to see themselves at the end of the tunnel and really trust God in the process, and knowing that every single day you're gaining some more experience to help you along this way to continue out the vision. Can you help the people?
Sure. So I am a firm believer in anything that God puts in front of me, I'm going to tackle it. And I say that in my music because I want people to understand, like all my music, there's no profanity in it.
Yeah.
Like it's all clean music, and it gives direction. Every song that you play gives direction.
Yeah.
If I look over my life when I was younger, and I look at everything, and I'm like, man, I hear people say this, like, man, like life just don't get any better for me, or like, why is everything always going wrong for me, right?
Yeah.
And the energy and the universe will give you exactly what you ask for. So you know how they say like the power of your thoughts is powerful.
Yeah.
Like we are beings of a creation of a energy that has created everything that exists. So when people like they have doubts in their faith in God, like you have to think not someone, but something so powerful created a world that as it spins on its axis, the water, I mean, there's, through time, areas of the earth have flooded, but people exist in the water, ebbs and tides, where like the world just like doesn't get flooded. Like that's a creation. Right. That's a creation. This world turns where the temperature is livable for the organisms on this earth. Like that whether some people talk about the Big Bang Theory, like that had to take creation. That's like someone telling me a car was just created. Someone had to put into a thought process that this car's going to need tires.
Yeah.
Even before that, before a carriage was made, there was a process to say, I need something that's going to spin to help this thing move forward.
That's it.
The people is going to need somewhere to sit at. Like, so when I look at my faith, the things that are placed in front of me and the things that I want in life for my family, for myself, for my friends, and everyone that I'm involved with, I'm going to say this a side note real quick. When my clients, when they're going through their funding process to get the funds for their business, we pray on it.
That's it.
And my approval rate for my client, any of my clients on right now could vouch on this. My approval rate is 90 to 100% on everything that we apply for.
Yo.
Right. And it's we get the files as spotless as possible.
Right.
That holy light is overseeing your path.
That's it.
So now going back on this. I'll tell you guys that if you need encouragement, if you have an idea, I say that people could take any idea. I could take this pen. People could say, "Oh, Bic right now, Bic owns the industry because they've been making pens for X period of time." I just need to think of something so creative to add to this pen that people will like it. Either I'm gonna cut the cost on it, I'm gonna cut the production cost on it. I'm gonna do something where I could compete against the Bic out there. And I guarantee that I could sell these pens and make a living selling pens.
Right.
Because all you need is an idea, a product or a service, and you have access to the funds, and you know how to market and reach the consumer, and you have faith. Now let's talk about the faith. Here we go, take this pen. When someone says, I could give you a map and say, Cierra, here, take this. I want you to drive from here to Miami. And the drive from the upstate to Miami should take you 10.5 hours. Right. And that's going to include you having to stop for gas. When you stop for gas here, what I want you to do, get food at the same time. Right. Right. And then get back on the road and continue to drive. Right. If Cierra gets a flat, Cierra has to be accountable to say, you know what, I knew I needed tires before I took this trip. But what people say that I got a program on doing something, I knew I had doctor bills. That's not on my credit. I knew it's my fault that I got a credit card and I maxed it out. But people have every factor around why they're not successful, and instead of being accountable for themselves.
That's it.
On a faith end, if I have a map that tells me if I drive on the 26 freeway to the I-95 South and take the I-95 South for X amount of hours for 8.5 hours, I'm going to reach Miami. Yeah. If I decide that, you know what, I know Joe told me this, but man, you know what, Jacksonville looks beautiful. I'm going to stop off. I'm going to drive around the city for a second. Right. Now you're creating your own delays in your journey. You have to be accountable for that. But if you have faith, you know what, I've done this, but I got the map. Listen. I got the map. So my faith, knowing that I will get there, is going to happen. Yeah. So now let me end this because I don't want to take up. I went way over your time on your show.
No, you're fine. This has been good, Joe. I'm telling you, this has been, very good.
I was explaining the big thing, the product. So anything could sell. Say you start this product off and you got a business plan that tell you should be making X amount a year. And then say the COVID happened. Say COVID-20 happens. And it just impacted your direction, your course. Because now people stuck in the house, people did it. Now you're like, man, this is about to fail. Right. As soon as you make that thought process, or when you open up that barber shop and your first grand opening, you thought you was going to have 40 people there, but only 15 people showed up. Like, there's always a reason behind everything in life. But as soon as you start doubting, you put that doubt in your mind. Not only are you doubting yourself, but you're doubting when you prayed on something like, man, Joe, I'm going to do this, boom, boom. Right. And I got faith it's going to happen. I've been praying on it. You went to your Holy Father and asked for something. your Holy Father delivered to you. And as soon as something doesn't go your way, you quit. So right now, you're going back to your Holy Father and saying, you know what? I know you told me that you will always provide for me.
Right.
I know that you wouldn't have got me this far and just leave me out here.
Right.
But people with the same journey down to Miami, as soon as they get a flat tire, they'll turn around and head back. Like, man, they ain't say nothing about a flat tire.
Ooh. And they didn't even realize they were already halfway there.
They didn't realize. So now you just drove 5 hours and going to take 5 hours to drive back. When that same 5 hours, you would have kept going towards your destination, you would achieve what you set out to achieve. Listen. But it's that lack of faith. It's that lack of faith. And it's fine because it's human nature.
Yeah.
So, and I understand that as a business consultant, that human nature, the majority of the time, will override faith. That's why we have so much sin in the world right now, because human nature, no matter what God has done with the flood, whether you believe in that, the flood,
right? Yes,
the plagues, everything, human nature always return and overrides
what God is trying to tell us.
Righteousness.
Yes. Come, Joe, you're preaching, brother.
I'm just saying the reality of things, though, and the fact is, I know if God can't change it, I can't change it.
Right.
So I only do what I can for people. I try to encourage people. I try to help guide them. I give them the course. I give them the light, and then I put it in their hands. If they fail the first time, I try to help. Hold on, get up, get off your butt, get off your butt. What you sitting down there sobbing about it for? Get up, let's go.
Right.
And you fall down again, and you back sobbing again. I gotta let you go, because there's 100 other people out here trying to get to where you are right now. So like time is the most precious thing that we have. But we have to make sure that we put our time into the right people that's going to truly put their faith and their belief in God.
Man, I'm 100% with you, Joe. I am 100% with you. I say this all the time. Walking the journey, me even leaving my job and pursuing entrepreneurship and business, being a business owner has its challenges. But the thing is, every day I wake up and I pray, Lord, what is it that you want me to say today? What is it that I need to do today? I pray daily for strategy and I keep my faith. And those results, they come. It's so crazy because I remain optimistic. I remain faithful to the promises that God has given me, that vision that he has given me. So when I do send out, contracts and stuff like that, and it's like, I'm praying, I'm like, Lord, I pray I get this one. I pray I get this one. And that is the prayer for all of them. Some of them come back and say yes. And then some of them I say that I get, it comes back no. But the no's do not discourage me.
That's right.
They only tell me it's just not yet. That client may not have been right for you right now.
Right.
And that's okay. That keeps me in a spirit of humility, but also to know that I'm not walking this alone. God protects me in every single way or fashion. Like when I tell you, it's been mind blowing. So yes, thank you for that. I appreciate you sharing that excerpt with us just now, because that's man, I'm telling you, that faith is everything.
Just always know if you believe that there's always a why of protection.
Yeah.
Just always, for everyone out there, before we end, just always, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, anything that you're doing in life, there's always a why of protection. Yeah. So, I mean, if you really believe that, if you're trying to do something and it doesn't go your way, or you apply for a college and they don't approve you, right? They don't approve you for the scholarship or whatever the case is, there's a why. Yeah. And if you believe that, you know what, that why is always to protect me, then you wouldn't even care. You're like, right, I know God is protecting me from something. So let me continue down my path, because God is always protecting me from that denial. And that's how I always see things. And I think that helps you with your mentality to think, hey, you know what, 1,000 people could tell me no. Look at Disney. How many hundreds of banks told him no? I didn't even think there were that many banks back in the 40s and 50s. But look how many banks told him no. But he kept going. He kept going. Now look, multi-billion-dollar company.
Isn't that amazing? Oh, I just got, okay, Reddy said to shout out the YMA contact info again, because there's a few more family and friends who just came into the room.
Okay, definitely. If you're interested in purchasing a home, we have the Pyramid Group with Keller Williams. The number is 864-249-1437. If you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur, business owner, or you're trying to figure out how to scale and grow your business, you can contact YMA Financial. That is www.ymafinancial.com. The number is 864-249-1439. If you're trying to improve your credit, you can contact Masters Credit Consultants. That's look at Rebecca.
Yes, she did. I love her. Oh man, I love her.
www.masterscredit.com, and the number is 864-249-9466. And thank you. There was a post down here from Ashley Galloway. Thank you, but that means a lot, Ashley.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to let Rebecca get those plugged in. She's dropping them in the chat now. So please make sure you guys, if you have any information or questions or anything like that, please make sure you contact Joe. He has been more than willing to share this contact with you guys. And I can only imagine what the information would be if you was to sit down with him one-on-one. All right. So for all of you, thank you guys so much for tuning in for Career Chat Tuesday. This conversation has been enriching, empowering. Like this has definitely blessed my soul today. Thank you so much, Joe, for your time, your willingness, your servant heart to give us what we need in order for us to advance as entrepreneurs, as well as just giving people the exposure that they need. So thank you.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you guys. Cierra is checking out of here right now. And all of the links are in the chat. Rebecca has dropped all of the links in the chat. So if you're catching a replay, please make sure you go and look in the comments, because the links are there for you to be able to be plugged in. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Stay blessed.
Yes.